Welcome to the Surf All Day A1A YouTube channel. This is the second episode of the Salty Towel podcast where I talk with a legend of East Coast surfing, a resident of Narragansett, Rhode Island, someone who I think is quite possibly the quintessential longboard archetype of New England, the legendary Peter Pan. We talk about all kinds of things ranging from longevity in surfing to the right kind of equipment to surf contests to crowds in the surf, various surf locations. We really cover a range of topics, and I found Peter Pan, who I'd like to call Pete, to be a charming dude who is interesting and has a really cool perspective that I can relate to quite a bit. Another thing I liked about Pete is that he has served his community by being active and running, setting up surf contests for years. We talk about that also. As we fly along this beautiful Central Florida beach with these pelicans, I would also remind you that if you like these kinds of videos, go ahead first, give it a thumbs up. Then second, subscribe. That way you'll be notified as new videos come out, and they do all the time. I also have a series where I give you my perspective on how to surf Florida wave. We also talk about the work Pete does teaching surfing. If you're interested in getting in contact with Pete, all of his contact information is listed in the description of this video. Okay, so now let's get right into it. You're going to see all the bloopers. I included my fumbles and stumbles as we get into podcasting. It was a lot of fun. Welcome to the second episode of the Salty Towel podcast. In this episode, we'll be speaking with world famous, legendary East Coast surfer, Peter Pan.
Did I do it? Did I do it correctly?
It's amazing, man.
Oh my God, this is sick.
How you doing, Pete?
Good.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It is.
Nice to meet you, man. I enjoyed meeting you on the phone earlier. I can share my screen. I was going to share some drone shots I got right after I talked to you.
How are the waves?
They're about 1 foot, but we
That's
get
all right. Anything's good. Anything.
I'll take it. It's like just on the right sandbar depth. It'll
That's
work
fine.
here. Like right.
This place is junk right now.
Oh, really? Yeah, you guys are getting that storm.
Yeah, it's sitting right on top of us, completely out of control.
Tropical storm Elsa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it'll get it good at all? You know?
I think we're gonna have probably at least waist to chest tomorrow. So
okay.
It should be good. I'm sure that we'll have 5,000 of my favorite friends here to share it.
Yeah, New England in the summertime. I lived up in Boston for 5 years and surfed all in that area for a long time. And it seems like New England in the summertime, just the crowds really concentrate.
And now it's worse. As I said before, no work, no school, no nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, I actually took the drone out and then was interested in the waves, but started following a pelican. That's one of the things I like to do in the morning is go, if I find a pelican, just kind of fly with it. And you can fly that drone for like a mile down the beach farther if you want to. But
wow.
It's pretty cool. Let's see if I can find one that's big. Okay, here we go. Here's one I did this morning. Maybe this one. I'm going to see if it works.
Wow, look at that.
Can you see it?
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Laugh like a pirate. How the heck is that possible? All right.
Look at that. Modern technology.
Yeah. So really small. That's how it was this morning.
Wow, it's not bad. So as long as it's something.
Yeah, you can't beat the crowd.
No, it's still better than the Great Lakes.
Yeah. And last summer I started to fly over where I saw pelicans and I found all these feeding frenzies that were happening just off the beach. It got really interesting. All right, let's see if I can share another one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever done that. All right, let's see. Go size. All right. Yeah, I should have named these beforehand. Oh, this is just one over my location. There was a family swimming right there. All right, let's see.
How hot's the water down there now?
Oh, 85 degrees.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what's the water temperature like in Narragansett, Rhode Island?
Right now it's 65.
Oh,
And
wow.
I wear a full suit all the time.
Okay.
So I got a tape 3-2 and I got boots. And I actually wore gloves. And July 4th, I wore my 4-3 with a helmet. That's how cold it was.
Oh, holy mackerel. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at these files, so I wouldn't be surprised if we flew over a shark.
That is cool.
You can see them clearly against this. It's still murky, but there's so many out there this time of year. It's funny, my son Jack, who's 10, we swim in the ocean every day at the end of our street, and love it when the current washes us along. We drifted for a mile on Tuesday along the beach, but we came up to one of the spots we wanted to go to, and a guy had a 6-foot shark on the beach that he was trying to pull the hook out of, and we're like, we'll go to a different beach. This time of year there's a lot of sharks, but really it's very rare that anything bad happens. All right, let's see here. Wish I could find that seagull one. Doesn't look like I can. Well, anyway, so yeah, man. So you live in Narragansett and you have a business in Narragansett. You've been doing the ESA thing for years. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, I did the ESA thing for about 4 years with my son and loved all of it, but now he's off in college.
Yeah, everybody like goes through a ESA period. So
yeah, and exactly. Yeah. When we first got into it, there were a couple guys that said like, oh yeah, my kid did it years ago. And then I got back into it. And now I'm, surfing the older divisions or whatever. Yeah. So I was thinking maybe I would go that same route. It's a cool community.
It is. It's fun to do it. And, you go out and surf against, the same age group. It's kind of nice.
Right. Yeah. And you get an excuse to go to Hatteras every year.
Oh yeah.
Do you do the Hatteras trip every year to the Easterns?
I'll tell you the truth. After they moved it from the lighthouse, I haven't gone in a couple of years because I don't really like Jeanette's Pier. I went there a couple of times. It's not my favorite spot.
Interesting.
I always go to the regionals no matter what. You got to defend your own turf.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Once you get past that, I'm just not that interested now.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Years. Yeah, I was there for the first time we ever went there was 1971. And there was nothing in Hatteras, nothing. It was just a lighthouse. And I remember we ran the contest from a picnic bench, the East Coast Championship. Seriously.
Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah. Now you said you traveled to Florida, to Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, I love
some contests. Yeah, great longboard wave, right? I mean, yeah, just a slow breaking, kind of gentle, peaky wave.
It's a perfect wave. It really is. For the East Coast, it's an ideal wave. So
yeah, it really is legendary for that. Now, when you're surfing up there in Rhode Island, it's all point breaks, right? Or do you surf beach breaks as well?
Mostly point breaks. I'm spoiled.
Yeah,
no sense. We have perfect reef breaks. Why bother?
Exactly. That's how I felt too. I just turned my nose up at every beach break I came to.
I'd rather crawl on rocks and ride 1 foot than go to a beach break. Seriously. As long as I have boots on, I really don't care. So.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. I wonder how soft tops would change surfing there too, where you could just not worry that much about the board getting, destroyed on shallow rocks.
Yeah, a lot of people have, are riding them, but they're not. You can't perform. You can't do anything on them. You just go straight, basically.
That's right.
I mean, it's difficult to ride. So.
Yeah. Well, they wiggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been enjoying actually surfing of it lately. That's almost all I've been surfing the last couple of months, believe it or not. Yeah. Occasionally bring out a better board, but yeah, just find the novelty of it to be something that draws me to go out. So I'll go out every single day. And you're still surfing after, when did you start surfing? You said 1971 first ESA, but how
I
long have you
started
been
surfing when I
surfing?
was 13. So I'm
Okay.
old. I started surfing in 1963.
Wow.
That's how long. That
That's pre-shortboards. That's
is. I started surfing. As a matter of fact, I used to actually surf in longboard competition. In other words, when there was no shortboards in the 60s.
mm, yeah. That's interesting. And then it went to kind of, did you go through the twin fin phase, or do you just, I mean, I know you're known for longboarding, but I don't think you're stuck to any one particular board type. I don't mean to.
Oh, I went down to, I mean, I was riding a 5'4"
Okay.
positive force twin fin. I remember in
Twin fin.
1970, it got down to ridiculous sizes.
Yeah. John Holman around here still rides twin fins time to time. It's legendary. Yeah. Totally different feel. I have a hard time surfing them, but yeah.
Well, the older you get, the harder it's going to be to get up. The harder it's going to be to control the board. So I remember like probably 20 years ago, I had Hobie make me a duplicate of the 5'4" positive force twin fin. What a joke! They said, "You're not going to ride this. It's terrible." And he was right. It was terrible. I got rid of it in like one day.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So I've watched other podcasts and I prepared a list of questions to ask you. I'm just going to go rapid fire through them and you just give me your reaction, whatever it is. All right. You ready?
Yeah, fine.
All right. Surf movies, Endless Summer or Point Break?
Point Break.
Sushi
Very
or,
twisted.
yeah, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
I like that. It's twisted.
Yeah. Well, that's a philosophical movie,
It is.
really, in a way, so to me, that's a tell on you. Yeah. That you relate to those philosophical things. Bodie. Just got to ride the biggest wave, man. Or yeah, to your death. Sushi or sashimi?
I don't know what either one of those are. I know sushi is some raw fish, and I don't like raw fish. And the other one sounds like raw fish or something crawling on the bottom of the sea. I
That's a
don't like
great.
that.
I think that's a great answer.
Uh,
Thor or Iron Man?
Thor.
I'm with you. Totally. What is your favorite board currently to surf? What's your go-to board? If all other boards vanish, what's the board you keep?
I always ride my 7-foot 5-inch slug, the Hobie slug model.
The Hobie Slug.
Because that works the best in every condition. I designed it for surf, for a surf contest, and it rides in any kind of size wave generally. So that's what I usually will go to, no matter what. Just pull that thing out.
What size? What length?
Well, it goes by the slug formula is 2 feet over your head is a legal shortboard. So I tell everybody, if you get the board exactly 2 feet over your head, you can surf in a contest with it, and it's going to float you maximum flotation to catch waves. So most of the time on the East Coast, the waves are junk. So you're going to use the slug.
Right. Yeah. My son used that technique in many contests in Cocoa Beach, which was to take my board out, which was for him a slug almost. Well, but certainly, yeah. Yeah. And if you have that equipment, can't ride the potato chip.
No.
So I'm thinking of taking a surf trip up to Rhode Island now as a result of this conversation. And New England, I've been thinking about that for years to go back up, but it's the water hurts. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, you need rubber.
I'm going to need to, I need to invest in probably $400 of wetsuit.
Sealed tape rubber.
Sealed tape. Yeah. Wetsuit technology, since I used to surf up there 20 years ago or over 20 years ago, has increased, many times, orders of magnitude. What's the wetsuit to get, would you say?
Well,
I mean, I know it depends, but time of the year, but like for a fall condition in New England, like mid fall, so it's after everybody left.
If you're into luxury, you should have 3 suits: a 3-2 for the summer, a 4-3 for the fall and the late winter, and then a 5-4-3 for the winter. That's what I've got. I have like a whole bunch of suits because I go all the time. I always have 3 suits of each style because if it gets wet, I hate going in a wet wetsuit.
Yeah. Yeah. I can remember taking off wetsuits in the snow in New England. To me now, that is like a different planet. Right. That we actually at one point put bowls of water outside when we thought it might get cold enough to freeze water and have never achieved it. Having grown up in New Jersey, it's yeah, different here.
Yeah, the temperature difference from Jersey to here is about 10 degrees cold in the water temp. So you can get away with a 4.3 all winter, sometimes in Jersey where you can't get, once you get past Rhode Island, you can't.
Mm.
Because I lived in New York for 8 years, and I got away with a 4.3. There was a big difference in the temperatures.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that, right. You kind of are sticking out more towards the Arctic current or whatever it is that, yeah. And then once you get around the bend there into Cape Cod and beyond.
Forget it. New Hampshire and Maine are death. It's ice cold. No
So
mercy.
cold.
It's ice cold right now. Yeah, ice cold 50 water.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Gloucester. I always had good time there. And there's actually some point breaks right around the mouth of Boston Harbor.
Oh, I know. There's some good spots. I work in West Wareham, and we surf, all around that area, like Nantasket, Nahant. There's a lot of good spots over there.
Yeah, it's the gem. That whole corner, I think, of Eastern North America is a gem. Even traveling out to Southern California, which it's often compared to, but for me, it's much more accessible, much more variety, way less crowds on spots. You ever been to Trestles out there in California?
I went to a few spots, but they were really crowded. And I surfed like in San Diego, and I surfed a couple of contests in Huntington Beach.
How'd you like Huntington Beach?
I liked it because there was a lot of room. You just walk down the beach, you could basically surf by yourself.
Right. My thing on Huntington Beach seems like every time I'm there, it's 5 foot and powerful.
Oceanside too. I surfed there in a couple of contests.
Oceanside
is nice.
Mm-hmm. Where did you surf in Oceanside?
The pier, because we had a couple of contests at the pier.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, when we were there, we surfed up by the jetties near the inlet there.
Oh yeah, that's nice over there. That was good too.
It was solid waves, but we could see the pier down there, and it looked good there too. From what we've heard, Oceanside is like your Cocoa Beach of California, so to speak. It's like the working man's wave, easy to get to. Like, it's one of the few places in California that you could just drive up to the beach and go surfing. You don't have to pay $15. You don't have to, all this walk for a mile and a half. Like Trestles, that Point Break Trestles it's like a mile walk down to the beach. And of course, everybody in California has those electric bikes, so they're going right up and down the hill. But that wave is unbelievable. But you're surfing it with 400 people by lunch.
I can't deal with it. I'm used to surfing by myself.
They're pretty friendly out there, which is the weird part. But yeah, everybody's right up on each other, almost in the shape of the Point Break. Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't even paddle out. I remember when we went with my partner Dave, we went into I said, I got to go to Malibu. And she says, you're not going to go out in the water. I'm telling you, you're not going to go out. I said, no, we got to go there. We drove up. Right. I said, you're right. Let's leave. There was like 100 people out, and it was 2 feet. I said, this is insane. Let's go. Yeah. I told you we weren't going to go out.
Yeah, I like this. I'm way more into the seclusion thing. As a novelty session to go out there and do it, I'll do it. But yeah, I'd much rather go out alone like I did today, or with a friend or whatever, find isolation, which you can still find in New England, I would claim.
Well, that's another reason I like Cocoa Beach. You can just walk down the beach.
Yeah, you can find it in Florida almost everywhere. Yes, certainly. There's just miles and miles of beach break and sandbars, and you just walk down and find one. Place like Flagler Beach, where the road is right on the ocean. You just drive to one you like. There's hundreds to choose from. Yeah, if you go to a place like New Smyrna Inlet in Florida, it's a whole different deal, though. That spot, again, 300 of your closest friends.
That's a big ESA district over there. They have a lot of
Yes.
contests.
Yeah. Yeah. We did ESA there and NSSA. And my son was actually bitten by a shark in a contest at that inlet.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't just some stitches, but it was 6-foot bull shark. But there's so many sharks in that inlet. He was one of 3 people that was bitten on that day.
Ugh.
And they continued the contest, which
No refund.
when they were treating my son or for, wrapping up his leg, another kid came in and goes, I just got bit on the hand. It's like, wrap it up. But the Volusia lifeguards are so used to these little shark bites that, yeah,
That's funny.
keep going. It's a different vibe there. New Smyrna is a cool town. Like anyway, you can drive on the beach. It's, basically the countryside of Daytona Beach, which is another place, just miles of waves. But
Yeah, Florida's got good waves, I think.
oh, definitely. Yeah. And if we get a hurricane here, get lucky, we'll get some. Yeah. It can handle, there are beaches in Florida that can handle a large wave, which I love. And when it gets that big, nobody can make it out here because it's just wave after wave of, an hour-long paddle or whatever. When it gets gigantua, huge. So that's another thing I love to do, is to make the hour paddle and go out and do that. But Florida can actually handle big surf. There are spots in Florida that, like down at West Palm Beach, especially, that are every bit as good as, Pipeline, like that Reef Road and so on, when it's on. But yeah, we've done some traveling down there. You ever been to Charleston?
Yeah.
You ever surf there?
Nope.
Yeah, Folly Beach. That's another cool spot.
They have contests there too.
Yeah.
My daughter surfed the contest down there, actually.
Yeah. There's
I've done these demo things. We've gone to a lot of beaches on the East Coast for BIC. Like we have these learn to surf demos. We had them a while ago, but we've traveled to all.
Oh wow, that's cool. What were some other beaches you liked up and down the East Coast? I thought was decent for surf.
I liked Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. We had when the Myrtle Beach is good. We had them in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And Jersey's got good waves. We had them at several spots at Jersey's. In Florida, basically. And North, that's about the spots we went to. So.
Are you familiar with Ben Gravy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're a big Hyperflex dealer, so.
Oh, okay.
He has Wetsuit with a Hyperflex.
Yeah, I love his channel. Just that, watching it grow over the years. He's even made it like a drama of his life, proposing to his girlfriend on episodes and all that stuff. But that, like, his thing, the search for novelty, the search for that kind of, those novel waves. There's so many of those, I'm guessing, in New England to find.
Oh yeah.
Little spots that just wedge up or happen on a certain swell angle. Or do you do a lot of check-in of the beach, or you just go hit it?
I just go.
You go.
I put my wetsuit on before I get in the car, and I go to the beach and go in the water. That's it. And I leave.
Because everything else is a stall mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people that keep surfing, into their adult years consistently all have that attitude.
And I've always done the same thing. I never go on the beach. I never lay on the beach. I never have. I just go surfing and leave. That's it.
Yeah. Well, you got right. Exactly. I think we're just laying there. Yeah. But I'm the same way. I think it's probably a pretty common thing that, you see so many people who kind of stop surfing over the years or let themselves get out of shape. Are you like on a routine to stay healthy enough to surf and do all that stuff?
Well, I'm fortunate enough that for the last 20 years, I've been teaching exercise classes at the gyms. I'm I have like I teach, fitness classes, like all kinds of stuff worked at Gold's Gym for 10 years and a couple of other gyms. And now I've been at the YMCA gyms for like the last 8 years. Mm-hmm. So I teach cardio kickboxing and
oh wow,
balls and bands and I have a class called Surf Set. I'm doing that tonight. And it's a surfboard. And actually, my friend Mike Harwick invented it, the sport. He was a hockey player in New Hampshire. And it's a surfboard, and it's got rubber balls on the bottom of it, so you have to balance on it. And we do push-ups, sit-ups, pop-ups, everything on the board. It's a really good class, and it's always full. At the Y, we're the only gym in the state that actually teaches. I have 10 machines because they're not cheap. They're $700 each.
Oh, wow.
But but they work. It's fun. I mean, you get a good workout. So anyway, that class is good.
That's really cool. Were they on Shark Tank?
I think they were. They were. I don't know. I don't watch any of that stuff, but he said that he did get the money from them.
Yeah, I remember an episode that had a company just like you're describing.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. A while ago. This was had to be 10 years probably, because I've been teaching Surf Set for probably 8 years.
Mm. Yeah, so you're working out in addition to surfing. I also think that's super important.
Yeah, you got to exercise, especially if you're old. If you let yourself go and you're
That's
old,
right.
you're all done. You're not going to get up. You're not going to do nothing.
Yeah, and that's your mind and your body both. But yeah, if you don't exercise them, it's like anything you leave alone.
First thing that goes is your back. You have to have really good abs and really strong back. That's the first thing that's going to go. And once that goes, you can't even surf. You can't get up. And in the arms, so a lot of the old coots think that they're like 20 years old and they surf 3-4 hours. Then they have rotator cuffs blow out and they can't do anything. So I tell them, use your brain and surf for an hour. If you're 70 years old, you're 70 years old. That's it.
Right.
Right. And so, if you want to be stupid, you're just going to keep going crazy and then you're not going to do anything. Better off doing a little bit every day than doing a whole bunch of, it's just not smart. So.
Yeah. And if you don't have that core strength, like you said, number one thing is to keep that core strength up. So your back.
Yeah. Everything is in the stomach. I taught karate, like Taekwondo for 30 years. It's like everything is in your stomach. So if you have a weak stomach, everything's going to go. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. But
I totally agree. I had a back injury years ago, and my lowest disc actually exploded out into my spinal column and bent the spinal column out like that. Yeah, but they did surgery and removed that stuff. But the point is, the key to the recovery from that was, above anything, the core strength, returning to surfing, but also, building up the.
Yeah, surfing is one sport. I tell everybody, if one part of you is not working, you're not going to be able to surf. So everything has to be working, or you're not be able to get up, and you're not going to be able to ride the wave. So you got to make sure everything's working.
Yeah. So if you want to do it, if you're 20 years old listening to this podcast, you want to be doing it when you're 50 years old, like me or whatever, you're going to have some kind of system that maintains your core strength, or in addition to surfing. Stay fit enough so you don't injure yourself because you go in the water. The weekend warrior style.
I've seen that with the runners, because I ran at college and high school, and all the runners that I ran with at college are all blown out because they kept running and running and running. Now they can't even walk. So I said, wait a minute, I'm watching these guys pop off one after another. I said, I'm not going to keep running like that. I won't be able to walk. And sure enough, knees went, the hips went, the ankles went, and they're not doing anything. So I'd rather do a little bit and keep doing it than not do anything at all. So.
Very wise. Yeah, that's really cool. All right. Well, excellent. I think that's probably good for the first one, but this excellent conversation. Yeah, we could do it again if you want. I could come back with additional topics, but what I'm going to do too is try to get additional people. This was the second episode. And what I like to do is get, like, for instance, like a John Holman and you and maybe one other, and do that as well on a topic. So I think that could be interesting. And it all hypes, what you're doing too. So that's good.
No, I love it. Thank you. I appreciate you even calling me.
Yeah, man, it was super cool. I like I said, I heard about you years ago when I was living in New England. So you were kind of in my mind like the quintessential longboard archetype up there, because I went to college. Yeah. And so when I thought of doing this, and I've been thinking about going to Rhode Island, I thought, oh yeah, maybe I'll call Peter Pan, see if because you could really, the YouTube thing, you could call anybody and just say, hey, you want to do a podcast? You really can. They probably, most of them say no, but some amount will. This is an area where I don't think there's a lot of connection between the East Coast community in in surfing, and it could be more.
So, you're right. I agree.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll send you the link. It was great talking with you, and I hope we can do it again.